3 R's of coming back to your first love. Number 1, remember. If you want to come back to your first love, you have to remember. What does that mean? It's you asking the question, well, what happened? What happened to me? Let me help you. Backsliding is usually associated with a life event. Can I say it again? Am I helping someone? Backsliding is usually associated with a life event. For example, if you have been wronged or hurt by a church, there's chances you're going to backslide. The people who are supposed to love you and appreciate you and encourage you were the same people who backstabbed you. They kicked you out of the church. They humiliated you, and now you are ashamed. If you dealt with an event such as church hurt, then most likely you're probably going to start to backslide. And so what Jesus is saying, remember where you have fallen. The first step to getting back to your relationship with God is to think, man, what is it? Was it since the time that I left this church and they hurt me the way that they did? Man, since that time I lost my love and I lost the strength and the passion that I had. Usually it's something like that. There's another event that can help you, that can cause you to backslide, is comfort. A new job. You see, if you have a new job and you're making a lot of money, you're self-sufficient. I don't need God anymore because I'm in my bag. I got all the money that I need. There's no struggle. Things are comfortable for me and I'm moving forward. And so what I'm trying to say is that it's usually associated with an event. You being hurt by the church, some type of successful job. Now you're working so much there's no time to serve God anymore. Or let's talk about this one. There are certain people when you meet them. Oh, let me take my time with this one. There are certain people when you meet them, you automatically start backsliding. There are certain relationships. There are certain girlfriends or boyfriends. There are certain marriages that you are in. It's going to be the hardest thing for you to stop. It's going to be the hardest thing for you to grow in your relationship with God. Why? Because this person, instead of growing your relationship with God, they're going to allow you to do this. And so there are people that you meet, there are relationships that you have. You have to be careful before you get married. Those of you who are not married yet, before you get married, be very careful. Evaluate carefully. Evaluate carefully. I usually recommend when two people are getting married, you have to be equally yoked. You have to see, there's a few things you have to be on the same page on. You have to be on the same page as far as money. You have to be on the same page as far as how you're going to handle children. Do you want children? You don't want children? You have to be on the same page as far as your faith. Can this person encourage you in your walk? Or are they going to allow you to move backwards until you eventually backslide? So the first thing is remember. Remember. And for different people, it's going to be different things. Remember where you have fallen. What happened to you, my brother? What happened to you, my sister? God, can you show me, reveal to me? I noticed in 2015, I stopped going to this church, and since then, my spiritual walk has not been the same. God, I've noticed in 2015, I met so-and-so, and since then, my walk has not been the same. I noticed in 2015, I started this job, and since then, my walk has not been the same. What the first thing you need to do in order to rekindle that first love is very simple. Just remember. Use your memory. Remember. What happened to me? Number 2, the second R, is to repent. Now, I know the word repent is a heavy word, and a lot of times we are afraid of the word repent. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to just break down the word for you. In the Greek, the word for repent is metaneo, which literally means to turn around or to change your mind or to make a U-turn. If you're a car, you're going this way, you make a U-turn and you go the other way. And so what we're saying here is that after you have remembered what happened to you, the next step is to go to God with that thing and to say, Lord, I just changed my mind about this. I dated so-and-so, I wasn't supposed to date so-and-so. I changed my mind. I'm repenting of this. I won't do it again. I took this job, and since I took this job, I've been very comfortable. I had no time for you. I changed my mind. Not about the job. I'm still going to keep working there. But I changed my mind for the way that I've been treating you since I received the job. I got hurt by the church. They hurt me. I didn't expect so-and-so to do that. I didn't expect so-and-so to treat me like that. I didn't expect that. God, I've been hurt since then, Lord, and I've been bitter. I changed my mind about it. I changed my mind about this situation, and I repent. And then the third R, after you remember, after you repent, the third R is to repeat. Can we go back to the verse again? Revelations 2, verse 5. It says, remember, the first R, right? Remember where you came, where you have fallen. The second R, repent. And then the third R, do the deeds you did at first. In other words, repeat. What does that mean? Well, here's what it means. For those of you who are married, every married person has this conversation at least once. Well, if you're a newlywed person, maybe you haven't had this conversation yet. But the conversation is this. Man, babe, we've been very busy, and it's like we lost our fire. What happened to us? We've been so busy. How can we rekindle the love that we had? Remember when we first met, we used to be on the phone 24/7. Man, it was some hot love going on. When we first met, I used to bring you flowers. I used to open the door for you. I did the things that now it seems like I don't do these things anymore. Man, what's happening with us? And usually somewhere in that conversation, the married couple will decide what we need to do in order to find that first love again. We need to go back and do the things that we used to do before. And so if you used to have time and spend time with each other, just because, there's no reason, you spend time and you go on date nights. How many of the men have been taking their wives to date night? Men, y'all don't neglect date night, man. I'm telling you, you're not married, put your hand down. Don't neglect date night. And so it's going back to the things that we used to do. We used to spend a lot of time together. We used to be on the phone. Y'all remember being on the phone with that person till like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 a.m. and then you can't really hang up. Man, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. No, you hang up. And you're playing these games. You just want to be next to them because that was your first love. You were passionately in love with the person. And so when after 20, 30 years of marriage, you're like, man, how do we get back to what we were doing before? And then you come to the conclusion, we need to repeat the things we used to do before. And that's the third R. Repeat the things you used to do with God. Some of us, when we first got saved, we were on fire for God. We used to attend Bible study. We used to just digest our word. You were always in your word. You were always serving God. You were always helping the poor. You were always helping the needy. What God is saying, you have left your first love. If you want to come back, if you want your reward, you need to remember, repent, and repeat the things that you used to do in the past in order to rekindle the first love that you had. It's very simple. We don't need to overcomplicate it. If I need to get back to where I was with my wife, I need to do the things that I did before. I need to open doors again. I need to give her massages. She's always looking for some type of foot massage. Well, I need to put time to give those massages. And it's the same thing that Jesus is saying. He's saying to the church in Ephesus, you guys are so distracted. You used to serve me. You used to worship me. Now you're making so much money that you can't even give me some time to help the poor. Now you can't give me some time to do the things that you used to do before. Come back to your first love.